They are can-do people. If you give them a task, they will do it. If you give them an opportunity, they'll take it. If you need help, they'll give it.
I think the biggest thing that I would want the MIT community as a whole to understand when it comes to student veterans is that they are on campus. We may not be the biggest body of students, but we're here.
I see the MIT veterans community as a very warm and welcoming one. It is comprised of incredible people who have done quite incredible things.
We do have veterans in all 5 of our schools and in the college, and they represent 5 of the 6 branches of armed services.
I'm Melissa. I was in the Navy for 6 years as a nuclear reactor operator.
Thomas Washington. I am a prior Air Force officer. I spent about 11 years in the Air Force, most of the time as a pilot. I did a bachelor's and a master's degree, so I was here from 1988 to 1995. I currently work at the Licken Laboratory.
I'm Andrea Henshaw. I served in the Air Force. I flew for the 319th Special Operations Squadron. I am currently a PhD candidate in the Department of Aeronautics and Astronautics.
My name is Teresa Fazio, and I was an MIT undergrad from 1998 to 2002. I served in the Marine Corps, and I was a communications officer. I work now at MIT Lincoln Laboratory.
I'm Tao Savane. Right out of high school, I enlisted in the United States Marine Corps Reserves. So during my time at MIT, I was also doing reserves part-time. I studied aerospace engineering as an undergraduate.
My name is Jomi Kramer. I served in the Israel Defense Force as a non-commissioned officer, and my role within the military was as a heavy weapons infantry instructor, as well as a course commander. I'm doing a dual master's degree in mechanical engineering, as well as at Sloan getting my MBA.
My name is John Dozier, and I went into the Army Reserves immediately after high school, partly because I wanted to help my parents defray some of the costs of education.
The transition out of the military back to academia was very interesting. I had gotten used to almost daily decisions affecting whether or not people lived or died, and not having that anymore was both a relief, and at the same time I kind of struggled with finding meaning in my day-to-day life.
I think of MIT as being a sandbox structure where they give you some direction, but they want you to come up with solutions or your own way to do things. And that was a big adjustment after the military, where people are, for the most part, telling you what they need you to do.
I think that our veterans bring a wealth of knowledge, experience, and understanding to our community that can't be undervalued.
They joined the military and they wished to serve then, and even now that's what is important to them.
Military members say, service before self.
Veterans enrich communities by bringing back a sense of purpose, a sense of agency, a lot of hard work, and a perspective that the U.S. is not just affecting policy and actions in your small little neighborhood or space. U.S. policy affects the entire world, and there are consequences to our actions.
I also think the veteran community is a community that knows how to take care of one another.
It's kind of our first instinct to seek out other veterans whenever we reach a new place.
We have a common experience. We've all been responsible for somebody else's life, and we've also had to put our lives in somebody else's hands. And that common experience binds us in a way that I think is pretty unique.
We're able to connect with each other and become instant friends. Pretty great social dynamic.
We have a very active Student Veterans Association that not only attends to the needs of our students, but really attends to the needs of our veterans community very broadly.
It's just really nice to be able to talk to each other about things that we're used to, that we're still trying to figure out if it's normal here or if we need to adjust the way we're thinking.
this is a day of celebration for them. They spent a part of their formative years doing something that something like less than 2% of all Americans will ever do today.
Veterans Day for me is a time to reflect. It's a time to think about those around you who have given themselves, committed themselves to something that's much bigger than them.
I think Veterans Day is a useful vehicle for that, actually, as we can intentionally, listen to and think about veterans' experiences.
Even though I've been out of the service for several years, it hasn't quite sunk in that that day's for me now too. It's easier for me to look at other veterans and say, this day is for you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for everything you did.
I may not agree with what you want to say or do, but the fact that you have the freedom to do it, and the fact that I, was willing to essentially put myself out there or essentially on the line to be able to give you that freedom. To me, that's what it's about, is recognizing those who are willing to do that.
I like the MIT community to honor the commitment that they have made to our well-being. I'd also like for our community to understand the challenges that come along with that service.
I would encourage people to consider, when they think of a veteran at all, is that there are many different types of experiences people can have who are veterans. So it's a very diverse community, as evidenced by there are veterans who never go to college, there are veterans who go to MIT and earn PhDs, and there are veterans of every race, creed, color, gender, etc. So that when you think of a veteran, broaden your idea of who you might be thinking about.
I'd just like to say thank you to the MIT community. The fact that you're watching this video means that you're interested in our stories and hearing our voices, and that means a lot. So thank you very much for your time and help.